Welcome everyone to the SEO Mad Scientist podcast, where we test SEO theories so you don't have to. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe for new episodes, and sign up to web20ranker.com SEO Mad Scientist for access to exclusive updates and previous tests. With that said, let's jump right into it. Today we have Lasha to talk about some recent test updates.
Hey
Lasha, how you
guys,
doing?
yep, all is good. Thank you.
Doing good, doing good. Where I specifically wanted to bring Lasha on because he is a big fan of on-page SEO for local rankings and
For
map
sure.
rankings and how they influence it. And yeah, this is definitely the test for him, considering that we kind of just threw a bunch of AI content that was kind of keyword spammed, I guess you could say, at a GBP as the linked web page, and we're just kind of seeing how having all these terms on the page would impact rankings outside of actual relevance or strategy. Literally just putting all these terms on the page if we would see correlation in ranking. So yeah, I think I'll just pull up the actual test, which I think by now, yeah, you can go check it out. It is published. Um, Share my screen.
Come on, Mike. I want people to see this. Okay.
There we go. Okay. So yes, this is the test update. We literally SEO agency, SEO consulting. These are SEO terms. This is actually some long tail terms. I don't know why I put those there. Those should be down here. But essentially, I used the AI and just fed it these terms and was like, give me a bunch of relevant, search terms for these things in Omaha. It kind of gave me this list here, and we fed it back this. I fed it back this list, and it had it write this content. Nothing special at all, but very obvious what types of terms that are being targeted here. SEO expert, SEO consultant, SEO service, SEO solutions, and this was done. We were just talking about it, that we published these on April 9th. Yeah, that's right. April 9th. And I actually updated the entire website to the GBP. So this was a different subdomain. This is a free subdomain hosting on FlowTrack Page Builder. So like you could build a web page and host it on there without using your own custom domain. So it's treated just like a brand new domain, nothing special there, but it is a brand new website, one page. We put up this content and then swapped it out with the previous page, which I believe, I'm not sure what it said at the top. It said digital marketing solutions, something like that at the top, nothing SEO related. And then there was absolutely no content. And we can't see the bottom of the page here, but I'll show you. This was all that was left there. This part right here, um, that says nothing about SEO. This says nothing about SEO. It only said things about digital marketing solutions. That was essentially the only target term on this page, which we did lose some digital marketing nodes when doing this update, to be honest, which maybe we'll go into further detail on a later update. But after publishing on the 9th, as of the 22nd, that's right. We don't know exactly when this occurred. Our last GeoGrids are from April 18th, and literally every single term up here showed absolutely nothing as of that date. But then as of the 22nd, Google Search Console shows that new website is crawled, and then the 24th, 25th, that's when we have our next GeoGrid run, and we can see that we're starting to see nodes popping, things ranking. There's a few others, but I just didn't want to share 20 images, and then some of them are more sporadic like this, right? But then we do have some of these longer tail terms, ones that we specifically used. East Omaha SEO Solutions, I think, was specifically one of the East Omaha SEO Solutions. And we had a few other ones that we're seeing specific nodes popping for the headings. SEO Expert definitely seemed to have the biggest impact. I think it was the very first grid that I showed. Yeah, right here. At least so far. So as we go through this, we're gonna be updating this on page and kind of testing out different theories, different principles. Like I know Lasha, you're a big fan of the semantic triples, which I've even seen some really good results with in organic. But even without changing this content on this web page, if we add those, do you think we're going to see organic or local increases? Or do you think there's local aspects to that?
No, I think that if you update it, it would work for both organic and local. Doesn't matter. But in this case that you showed, huge impact as for me plays those headings. You put keywords into all headings, right? Am I right?
Yeah, every single
Yeah.
keyword that we were targeting, like these ones here, yeah, they're all headings.
All.
So
So
every single GeoGrid we're showing here is in a heading, correct?
yeah, so you know what? Even if you will remove the half of those text and you will leave only headings, I believe you will keep those rankings and maybe it will be even improved. This is, by the way, this is something I would love to test.
And I do know we have tested this before, so we know the impact of headings. But you're claiming that you think, I mean, there's not a lot of content
Yeah.
here. This is AI generated, so I think it's only like 3 or 4 sentences. Like these are very, actually, these are a little longer than I thought. I thought they were a little shorter. But you're saying you think I can get rid of like this and
Yep.
just leave that.
Yep. In each paragraph, and I'm pretty sure you will have the same result. Again, I'm not saying that I'm right, like for sure, but I also did some tests about it. And we are still doing some tests about it, and looks like those headings they play like a huge role here.
And that is why I think like SEO services, yeah, that's one of the most heaviest used terms on the page here at 11 times, and it's in multiple headings and the content. That was definitely not the most impacted term though. I think SEO expert was, which is only, yeah, and that's not even SEO expert. Definitely a lot more limited, but these are a lot more clustered too.
Mm-hmm.
So if SEO service, if this was more clustered, maybe that would have a bigger impact. But like you said, I know our previous testings, we saw menu item
Mm-hmm.
terms, headings, and I think anchor text linked terms actually showed a little bit of weight too. I'd have to go back and reference the old test. We have it, published on the website here.
Yep, I
But
remember.
we'll definitely dig into that. But I know content was like it was kind of the only things that we really saw getting pulled from content or even structured lists, I think was like services, Google
Mm-hmm.
updating the GBP services, which we then did see some correlation with services and rankings.
Uh,
But you're right, most of the weight was on the headings. And the menu. I remember the menu being pretty impactful too. The inner pages and
mhm.
interlinked menu, header and footer items
Mike,
actually played a big impact.
when you say Google added services, did you mean predefined services like auto added by Google?
when you log into your GBP listing and Google's like, we updated services based on information we found online, please confirm. Yeah, I found a lot of those services were getting pulled from actual content,
Mhm.
like um like SEO techniques would maybe get pulled as a service or something like that.
This is interesting.
Not so much the headings. The headings themselves, though, we saw direct correlation in ranking, which is kind of what we saw here as well. So it's not too surprising. It's interesting to see that the better rankings we got were for the more clustered terms, like SEO company. See, that one's definitely a little more clustered as well, but I don't think we saw as much gains for that. But it might maybe just be more competitive. I'm not really in that. I mean, in a competitive area, but not really where I'm just sitting at right on top of the listing here.
Anyway, this is cool. I mean, it took not a lot of time to show results on those GeoGrids. How much time it took? Sorry, it was less than a week, or let me.
April 8th.
Okay, and 20.
April 8th, April 9th was when it was published, and then it was crawled on the 22nd. We have like confirmed GeoGrids recrawled with the rankings on the 24th, so
So it took 3 days.
2 weeks. About
No,
2 weeks.
after indexing. I
Well,
mean, after page was indexed,
yeah.
like so it took 3 days.
Well, 3 days that we know of. If we had a GeoGrid from the 22nd right after it recrawled it,
Hmm.
and every second after that, we would need that to know exactly how
Yeah.
long it took. But
So
yeah, sometime between here's the thing too. Yeah, sometime between the 18th, and that was the last GeoGrid too. So we know on the 18th, from here all the way back to like last year, but beyond, none of these terms ranked. The 18th, it was still not ranking. Confirmed recrawled on the 22nd. 24th, we have the GeoGrids now showing nodes. So that was exactly 2 weeks after the page was updated and added, created and added to the GBP. 2 to 3 days after it was indexed, that we have confirmed
that's cool.
rankings.
That's really cool.
Is definitely cool just to see. And also the correlation, which we kind of reconfirmed from our previous testing, that these headings definitely play a part. East Omaha, SEO Solutions, even some of these weirder long tail ones, they're just popping off kind of nodes and things like that. So I guess something we could talk about is what you, or I guess even if you're watching this, what are maybe some on-page theories in local that we would want to look at? I know you said removing content. I mean, we can remove content,
Yep, I
but
say it because I believe that headings play the role, not that like paragraphs with like few sentences. I mean, yeah, of course they are useful. They
so
have some keywords, some terms, but the most role plays headings here for sure. This is what I think. This is what I saw previously, and especially for such, this is an SEO expert. This is not even a local keyword and GeoGrid boosted for less than like
yeah, it's rare that that
5.
shows an actual map like on the organic now, which is probably why I said it's lower comp or not as targeted. I know it used to show, especially in more dense areas, would pull a GeoGrid. That was definitely more back in the day, though. It's been a while since I've looked into that. So I mean, what you're thinking though is, instead of removing anything, if we just added a more list of headings with like one sentence for
Uh,
more target
just to see,
terms, you think
how it will rank. Yeah, of course. This is
you
so.
think we would see a correlation?
First of all, I would plan it like this. Why, just to be sure, why we can't remove? I mean, not maybe half of the content, but maybe 20% of the content, like a bit from each paragraph. Wait a week, see what will happen. After that, we will see something for sure. After that, add something new, as you said. One new heading with one new keyword. Wait a week and see what will happen. and that way we will have a kind of bigger picture and more options after that.
Yeah, I don't want to touch the content though, because then we add another variable, right? I think
Okay.
that's definitely one of the. If we just add something and see
Okay.
correlated movement, right? If we remove it though, then we don't know when it's crawled, and there's a lot of variables there. I mean, people right now could be watching this and going to the website. Of course, Google's going to deny that's ever a variable, but or they could be searching it right now. So that's another thing to consider when we're kind of releasing this data.
Mhm.
But we can be very strategic with the keywords.
I
So
don't
you
see
know we
local SEO expert there. You didn't use that keyword, right? This is something we can try, by the way. Local
yeah,
SEO
local
services,
SEO
I don't see.
company service. And I might be tracking it. I'm probably tracking it to be honest. Because it's always good to track everything. Well, I'm not gonna. I was actually trying to find it, but sign up for updates and you'll find out. I know we have way more keywords than this, and like I said, pretty much here I was just showcasing some of these updates, and they all line up with the 24th, 25th, 3 days after the crawl. It will be interesting to see what we add to the page and what causes movement. I will probably add in the update here. So if you're watching this, go check it out because I'm gonna add in here the the digital marketing terms I said that we kind of lost because the H1 on the page was digital marketing solutions, and then we had it here in the footer, and then I think we mentioned digital marketing somewhere else. Well, and we're omni digital, right? So digital marketing and business marketing, that was kind of the only thing that was optimized outside of the what's the GBP category? Internet marketing service? Is that the category? That's the one I used. I know there's like 8 marketing agency and things like that. I think internet marketing service is the one I used. But again, we saw no increases or no rankings for any of these terms. Something else I would also like to do is just test like PPC terms, right? Because we obviously hit this with SEO terms. If we can do something now completely different and just like you said, add headings with one sentence that just target PPC terms and see the impact as well. So I think we're definitely going to have some fun ongoing with this, playing around with the different things we can add and track and
Terms.
correlate.
Yeah, this is high volume stuff. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, and
Have, PPC.
definitely comment any ideas that you got too. If there's any new hip and awesome shiny object SEO on page strategies out there right now that you want us to kind of throw at this and maybe see about, or even another test. I mean, I guarantee we're going to have more on page GBP tests because we also are looking at the impact of inner pages, right? Which again, Lasha is a huge fan of. I am too myself. Um, and just interlinking and how content references itself within the website. All those things are kind of listed on our test schedule right now. So where they kind of land, whether we do it on this site or somewhere else, I guess we'll see. But definitely exciting stuff. You said SEO expert isn't a local term, right? It doesn't pull a geo grid or
Local
a
SEO
map by you?
expert.
Oh, local SEO
Yeah.
expert does. All right, we'll get a GeoGrid for local SEO expert for the next update too. So be sure to check that out. I think that's pretty much all we got on this test right now. We're going to have, I think, a lot more fun updates that come in as we play around with this on page. Interesting to see that just literally throwing headings at the page with garbage AI content produced a result. Obviously, we're not generating leads or anything like that, but it shows the power of headings in local, I think,
Uh,
at this point.
it First of all, it shows the power of on-page change on the linked page to the GPB. I know tons of different cases when clients don't want to share access to the website to us, to other agencies. When we ask them, guys, you need to implement this change there because it won't work, it won't help your GPB, it will hurt your GPB. Better to update it or let us update everything. Here, this is exact example where you can see like the direct correlation between on-page change and GPB rankings. That's why this test update should be added to every page on the Web20 Ranker website.
You make a great, amazing point there, and that's actually a perfect segue into the fact that we are working on the. If you saw one of the previous test updates, we have a kind of a PDF outline of the test and the results and stuff. And we're working on making those available in our dashboard so you can white label them. And yeah, this is something that if you go to clients and say, look, if you don't give me your website, you want results in local, we're gonna have a problem. Now, if you're in a niche where like certain real estate and things like that, like none of your competitors have access to the website, and you're kind of working in that area anyways. But sometimes clients are just difficult, or they can't get it, or they want to fight it, or they just don't respond. This is definitely a good test to point at and say, look, we can literally throw words on your web page and get a result with no strategy. You don't even need to pay someone to go do that, and you're not letting us do that simple part. Which again, don't do that. Use some strategy,
Yeah.
but definitely shows the power of headings and the need for on-site optimization in local. 100%. Awesome. All right, you got anything else for any last words of wisdom, Lasha?
I would love to see what will happen next. You said PPC keywords. This is interesting because it's kind of different vertical. It's not like organic. It's not like maps. It's like advertising, paid advertising. Very interested to see what will happen.
Yeah, just a whole different kind of
Yeah.
niche. Seeing how that's the question, how powerful are just the words themselves, right? Back in the day when you used to be able to just slam that page with keywords and get to the top of Google. We're hoping it goes back someday. No, we're not. That'd be horrible. But alrighty, I guess we'll wrap it up for this week. Thanks for watching again. This is the SEO Mad Scientist podcast. Remember, like, subscribe, follow for weekly updates. Go to web20ranker.com/SEO Mad Scientist. And until next time, happy testing.
Bye, guys.
Bye.